Hey guys, it's me, Lori from Theory, and welcome back to another episode of Locked Heart. So let's get things started. You're one weird girl. Yes, I am, Royal. A smile tugged at my mouth. I never thought I'd be happy to hear his exasperated self again. So I'm told. Getting to his feet, Royal reached out as if to touch my head, but then he retreated and crossed his arms. Don't pull another stunt like that, got it? Though he'd returned to chastidating me, his voice was softer than usual. It made my cheeks warm at the thought. I'll try. Can you stand? Yes. His whole body relaxed as if he nodded with approval. You better go inside, back to your room, and rest that head of yours. Just when I thought we made a breakthrough, Royal added to his statement, brow furrowing into a mild glare. Best check that you don't have any more loose screws. Got it. With that, things were back to normal. Still, I didn't have any complaints after seeing Royal so listless before. I wanted to worry about him some more, but my head started to pound. I decided to leave things for now. Yeah, you should get that checked out. As I got to my feet and headed towards the door, I heard a hushed voice behind me. Thank you. Huh? Did Royal actually say thank you to me? This is a breakthrough. Royal didn't meet my gaze, instead turning to gather up his cleaning implements and continued working. Nothing. I guess we're back. I felt warm and an unexpected light. It was a funny sensation, as if I were floating through a warm summer day. I didn't want to open my eyes and find out where I was. I just wanted to keep drifting. I had been stuck at the deluxe mansion for 3 whole weeks now, with no end to my stay in sight. Not that I didn't enjoy the company of everyone. Even Royal was slowly losing his grumpy edge with me, and I'd keep myself busy with chores and cooking practice. But still, I yearned to be free. Maybe that's what this feeling was, freedom. It felt nice. As I tried to settle into this sensation, I heard a faint female voice call my name. It was gentle and non-threatening, and I forgot my previous determination to ignore where I was. Opening my eyes, I looked around with my blurry vision, but there was nothing except a vast white background. Aura. The voice continued beckoning me. As I looked back and forth across the whiteness, a small figure soon cut its way into the nothingness. I drifted towards her, only then realizing that neither of us were actually taking steps as the distance between us had vanished. Is this a dream? Who is... The girl looked young, but she was beautiful. Her eyes were vibrant blue, and her hair a cadence of long golden locks. Still, coming closer, she extended her hand to me. Take her hand or don't take it. Take her hand, I guess. Unable to explain the calm I felt, I reached towards her. The soft smile on her lips was as warm as her hand. Who are you? What do you think you're doing? My eyes flicked open at the gruff demand, the familiar but incensed voice breaking through my reverie. It seemed I had been asleep, but as my sight adjusted through the haze, I only saw unfamiliar surroundings in the dim light. Huh? Was she the person from our dreams? After a few turns of my head, I looked forward, still in a kneeling position. Sitting in the velvet settee was a beautiful porcelain doll. Her hair was spun like gold. My breath caught in my throat. Not only was I holding the doll's small hand, it felt impossibly warm. What? Blue eyes shone within the moonlight. Her faint pink lips were curved into a sweet smile. But the longer I looked at her, the more I saw a whisper of sadness behind that happy facade. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys a story. I always thought facade was pronounced facade. It's so depressing, I know. There was something uncomfortably real about her. I didn't get to dwell on it for long, however, before Royal's voice came after me again. You, what are you doing here? The icy chill in his raised voice finally dragged me away from my thoughts. I'm sorry, okay? I sleepwalk. I was sleepwalking. I blinked. Oh my gosh, I can't read. I'm sorry, guys. I blinked, looking again at how I was kneeling before a beautiful doll, with my fingers gently holding onto her hand. Wait, what? Failing to produce an answer, I looked over at Royal with a half-panicked, half-angry expression. The thing was, I didn't know what I was doing here either. It must have been a dream, so maybe I had sleepwalked to her. But that sounded too silly to admit to Royal. He remained quite unimpressioned. It had been a while since his glare was that frozen. It's the middle of the night. What are you doing in her room? The forehead furrowed with suspicion. Royal crossed his arms and advanced towards me. More importantly, how did you know where she is? I glanced about the unfamiliar room, only just coming to the conclusion that I'd somehow wandered the halls and ended up in such a special room. Thinking back to previous conversations, I recalled the toys commiserating that only the young Harris remained lifeless, even though she had become a toy too. This is Goldilocks? Aura. My eyes widened and I shivered as the young girl's voice from my dream called out to me again. Warmth swelled at my chest, and a bright light shone through where our fingers were connected. I stood in panic, the light spreading to my chest. But whether it was from kneeling for so long or from fear, my legs buckled. Okay. The light swallowed up the room as I fell, my body collapsed. Okay, what's happening? Ow. I fully expected to hit the ground, so I was in no doubt startled when my body hurt less than it should have. To my confusion, it was harder to breathe, something heavy pressed down on my chest. I look upwards. Is this Royal? My entire body froze at the sight of silver eyes and a handsome face glaring down at me. His dark hair tangled between us like icicles. Like icicles? I don't know if that's a good simile, but okay. I didn't know where he had come from, especially when there had been no one in the mansion besides myself and the toys for weeks. What? His glare felt so familiar. I tried to stutter out some kind of response, but a gruff, impatient growl cut me off. What did you do, you idiot? The urge to defend myself against his fury was strong. Both curiosity and fear took my senses. Blinking, I changed the subject. Wait, who are you, anyways? The guy's brow furrowed, his silver eyes glinting. With a snort, he leaned closer as if trying to examine my face for clarification. Did you hit your head or something? Heat flooded my face as the distance between us shrunk even more. This is not the time to be blushing, Aura. I knew he was kneeling over me, but not only did the intimacy factor strike at full force. Gah, pervert! Thrusting my hands upwards, I knocked the stranger off of me. He landed on the carpet with a thump, and I immediately shuffled backwards until I hit the wall. If this is Royal, we are gonna get in big trouble. A low growl spilled the air as the guy lifted himself into a seated position. His growl evolved into a snarl. What was that about, you stupid girl? And the familiarity of his voice, those insults, the memories of a teddy bear filling my senses. And I started to tremble at the knowledge I'd gained. Only one person, toy, calls me that, and that's, Thrusting my fingers forward, I tried to yell, but the shock warped my words instead. You're Royal? His half-lidded stare revealed a flicker of amusement before he descended back into looking like I had ruined his dinner. I am. What is wrong with you? Forget how to talk properly? I could only stare with my mouth agape and my heart pounding in my chest. It's not the time to be doing this, Aura. Strangely, it wasn't Royal being human that surprised me as much as his actual appearance. With his gloomy and grumpy attitude, I had completely expected something different. Not anything like this handsome guy. You're acting really stupid right now. Why are you so surprised anyway? It's not like I magically transformed into, Yeah, that might have happened, Royal. Suddenly the door flung open, revealing more unfamiliar humans in the mansion. Supposedly populated by toys, but they might be lying to me. Unlike the guy calling himself Royal, all of them spotted my mind-blown expression. There were two guys, both with striking blonde hair. One hairstyle was short, while the other one was tied into a small ponytail, complete with a green ribbon. There was a familiarity to these handsome features, as they were possibly related. The petite girl with pink hair tied to the left, and a beautiful lady with long dark hair and a fierce atmosphere about her stood next to them. My cheeks flushed again. I began to doubt my own appearance with so many attractive people in the room. Tears. I understand that feeling. Royal balked, his irritated look replaced by my genuine surprise. You guys too, but how? We'd like to ask you the same thing. All of us saw the same bright light, and the next thing we knew, we were humans again. The party at the door all murmured agreements and nodded their heads at once, or at one another. After a pause of awkward silence, Royal shriveled to shoot me a fresh, venomous glare. I stiffened. I was only used to the teddy bear version of his glares, and those did not prepare me for these silver eyes and his picturesque human face. You have a lot of explaining to do, girl. Okay, well, what I did, I slept walk and that's it. Tilting my head to the side, I could only manage a quiet groan in response. I can't read today. Or I can't read any other day either. Even I didn't know what was going on. After a while, we all gathered in the dining room to discuss what happened. It took some time because soon after returning to human form, everyone felt the raw pain of hunger, something they had not suffered in 7 years. Oddly enough, their fridge had also been affected by the magic of the curse. I just opened the fridge and I can find whatever ingredient I need. Really? So I have been practicing a few recipes since I came here. Well, it shouldn't be enough for all of them unless you eat that much. I had been the only one who could try them, so it felt good to be able to finally share my cooking with everyone. Oh yeah, she's a cook. And I was like, oh, that clumsy person probably can't cook. But then I realized, After setting the table with a variety of quick but filling dishes, I settled down at the far end and watched with relieved happiness as they helped themselves to the dishes. This is divine, Lady Aura, certainly on par with Miss Rua's cooking. So offered me a soft smile as he picked up another forkful of risotto and indulged in his meal. Man, I'm getting kinda hungry too. Dion grinned, grabbing a fresh helping of cheesy potatoes and omelet. How many dishes did you make? I think this is even better than hers. My smile widened at their compliments. I didn't think I had surpassed my mom just yet, but it felt good to hear the praise. I think they're only saying that because they haven't eaten in 7 years. My mom's the one who taught me cooking and everything. I'm not as good as her as yet, but someday I will surely become the best chef in the world. And on that note, I think I'll end it here. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you click that subscribe button and also maybe even comment down below. Again, I'm gonna say this again and again, but thanks for watching and see you guys soon. Bye.